the March newsletter, April newsletter, I don't know. It's going to be in the middle of March. So the beginning of March newsletter? End of March newsletter? Jeez, I'll figure it out someday, guys. Okay, so I was called a name the other day. And I thought I would share it with you. And then I thought I'd talk about why I was called the name and what we can do about it. Okay. So I was meeting with these kids. I meet with different kids in this one school. I go 2 or 3 days a week. And it is a school of mostly neurodivergent kids. And they called me, you ready? The best teacher. And I said, well, not really a teacher. They said, no, right. You're more like an emotional support human. And I was like, I said, well, that makes me feel good. How come I'm an emotional support human? Because they're like, because you just get us. And you know what? Even if I didn't get them, I support them as if I did get them, right? Sometimes I don't understand what they're thinking or what they're doing, but I'm open-minded and ready for them to explain it to me. And then we find strategies so they feel good about their decision. Right, and middle school and high school is tough anyway. And I just thought, if you feel like you're an emotional support human to kids, keep going. I know that I fight a lot of the external reward systems with stickers, tickets, tokens, points, clips, and candy, and detentions and suspensions, and these people who are closed-minded and don't like any of the, what was the LGBTQIA plus community called the other day? Oh, by Dad, I know, actually. He called it the Alphabet Mafia. And I was like, they're not trying to kill anybody. And I was so angry at why this dad called the community that. And I said, well, if they feel that, if they do in fact identify as part of that community, then we need to support them. We need to ask questions. We need to use the pronouns they want, that they're asking us to use. We need to remember the name that they chose. And I think a lot of people want us to say, that's pretend, that's made up, I'm not doing that. And then the problem is, that does not make it easier for them. Nobody is part of that community and hasn't had a hard time becoming part of that community. So these two students that called me an emotional support human, they do fall in that community. And they love that. They said, you just don't care. And I said, well, I do care. They said, yeah, but not in like a negative way. You just are okay with who we are. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's that simple, guys. I just care about who they are. Yep, that's true. Doesn't matter if they're lesbian, doesn't matter if they're trans, doesn't matter if they go by they, doesn't matter any of it. It doesn't matter to me. As long as when you do find love, if you want love, it is healthy, that you have good self-esteem because you are proud of who you are, and that there are adults around you that support who you are so you can be at your very best. And I think that is maybe what the definition of emotional support human is that we care. And I didn't know it was going to be that easy. But I think when you go out today and you parent your children or you teach your students, make sure they know you care. I think now my goal and all kids I work with is for them to think I'm an emotional support human.